Okay, I started the recording.
Alright, hello, this is Crypyy, and I'm here with Cycled on doing a Murder Drones tier list of the episodes.
Okay, so we're gonna be, of course, starting from the first one and making our way up to the finale.
Alright, so how are we going to be rating these episodes? Like, are we going to be doing personal enjoyment, or like, we're
Yeah,
going to be looking as an
I mean,
overall, like,
like,
how does it affect the
somewhere in
plot?
between where you would put them.
Alright,
So, episode one, pilot. I'd say this is a strong. It was a really strong pilot.
a very strong pilot, but not a good first episode, is my opinion. I like the pilot a lot, but in my opinion, literally 90% of the things introduced in it goes nowhere or is dropped. So I really can't say it's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
good.
that's fair. I think my favorite scene was N's introduction, and then because it temporarily tricks you into a false sense of security by presenting to him as this insecure silly little goober, and then in the next scene he kills like five worker drones without batting an eye. I think that
Yeah, I'll say
was,
that's my favorite scene as well.
yeah. So we thinking A or B?
I would have to say C because of
C.
the issues. C, yeah, C.
Mm,
I I like it a lot, but I can't rate it any higher because of how much it doesn't lead anywhere basically.
I'd personally put it in A. So how about we meet in the middle?
And B, all right.
Okay. Heartbeat. Personally, weakest episode. I love all of them, but this is the weakest one.
In my opinion, this is actually my favorite episode. I think this has the best horror, and this, in my opinion, is the real episode one of the series.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I did like the introduction of the spooky scary. So
I
I'd put it also in like, I personally I'd put it in B or C, but
I would I
you,
would say A, but I think we'll have to do B again for this.
yeah, we're probably gonna meet in the middle again. What's my
Uh,
favorite scene? Honestly, the one where and just shoots the rocket and it reveals the big fucking centipede. I think that was really cool.
Actually, I have to put it down to B actually in my norm tier because I do have a few issues with the plot of that episode.
Yeah, it feels like more of a bridge than a real standalone episode. I don't know how to describe it.
Well, you remember that you heard the rumor of that the show changed trajectory between the pilot and the second episode.
No, I think it was like between episode 4 and 5.
I'm pretty sure it
Was
was
it? I'm
between
not
no, like
sure.
between like there was like a 1 year wait, and during that time, Liam changed his idea of what the
Yeah,
show should be
I
in.
know that happened. I'm just not sure between what episodes.
I'm pretty sure it's between those two, and that's why episode two is
Took
feels like
like
a
a year,
bridge to you.
or yeah, it's kind of in an awkward spot. So B.
Yeah, B.
Okay. The problem, I think it needs no discussion. This one is going in as
Um,
it's
what's the episode called again?
prominent. It's an
The Honey.
objective masterpiece.
I I like it a lot. My personal opinion is B or A. I feel like it could have been more horror related, the episode.
Yeah, that's fair. I do like
But
Doll's
overall,
introduction.
it's
The
good.
beginning of the episode was fucking amazing. The scene of Doll killing the worker drone.
I actually do have one problem with that scene.
Hmm?
And that's just not with the scene itself, but what it implies later along the line. But I won't get into it since I'll have to go on a real big tangent.
Okay.
Alright, nah.
So what are we? I'm thinking so like A or S.
I personally A in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. We can go with that. Cabin fever.
I hate this episode. This is my least
I
favorite
don't. I
episode.
don't hate it, but it's definitely in an awkward spot.
I feel like from going from episode 3 to 4.
Yeah. Wait, no, shit.
No
Okay,
explanation.
Wait, I didn't hear the
nothing.
last few
You
seconds
just
of you speaking. I muted Discord by
Alright.
accident. What were you saying?
Basically, from episode the way from episode 3 to episode 4 is like one of the strangest choices in my opinion.
Yeah.
They didn't naturally like flow into each other. It just felt like a hard cut. They introduced Uzi with the solar powers, but they never explain it.
Yeah, it's a bit questionable and definitely in an awkward spot. So
Also, I
we're
do
thinking
hate,
C.
there's this one scene I hate.
What?
I do hate that the running joke of V killing Walker Jones. I dislike that joke a lot in that episode.
Yeah.
I feel like it ruins V's character arc. It just makes her be a bad guy when her arc is her becoming better. Like that episode, really, in my opinion, ruins V. In my opinion,
I think this is the first episode that started like pushing romance way too much, to the point where it was getting in the way of actual comedy and horror, and common sense of the characters, of course.
I can agree on that. So far, what you thinking? I'm personally picking like a D.
I'd say that's a bit harsh. I'd say C, but it's definitely fair.
I'm down to pick it. Putting it at C.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's do it. Home. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. I know Home is like really hated in the community, but I found it to be one of my favorite ones. 1 second.
I personally put Home as number 4 of my tier list. I like it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Top 4 or 5. I liked it a lot. In fact, maybe I even liked it more than the Promening, possibly. I know that's a bit controversial, but
I think that's a stretch in my opinion.
Okay,
it's
but
like, it's basically the lore episode.
Yeah, and I liked it. I like the setting. The jump in animation quality was just amazing, and I liked the jokes. I think it was great, and the horror elements.
The horror in this one is like second best.
Yeah, so like we think an A, something like that.
I would say A. A is fine.
Above or actually it doesn't matter.
Do that again.
Doesn't matter if it's like above here or here, or do we
I
just treat
probably put
it?
like at the bottom of A.
Okay. Dead End. I especially liked Dead End at release. It kinda.
This is the one with V's death, right?
Yeah, where V quote unquote dies, but we all know what happens.
Yeah,
there.
I dislike this episode a lot.
I don't dislike it, but I do understand.
Time to
So
explain or answer.
I was gone again. Please repeat.
Alright. Basically, I do not like a lot of things this episode introduces. I do not like, how do you say, Alice. I don't think they had enough time to explain her, and she just feels kind of there.
The sacrifice feels forced, quote unquote.
Yes,
sacrifice.
I dislike it.
And
to be honest, I disliked her sacrifice. It didn't feel earned.
the comedy
like,
was. Sorry, please speak again.
No, you continue.
Okay. I like the comedy a lot, and it had some qualities, obviously, but the romance got way too much in the way of stuff.
I love how we forgot we have to say. I would say C.
I would say, like, B. I think C is a bit harsh, especially when cabin fever is there.
I'll be honest. I feel like this is like one of these. I think this is like one of the weaker episodes. Like this is like
Honestly,
yeah.
yeah. When you compare it to everything else, it's a bit weaker, but I'd still put it in like
Also, shouldn't we talk about Tessa?
what?
This is the episode. She's introduced in this episode. Tessa.
Oh yeah, I mean, you mean like
We
Soup
should like
Tessa
at
or
least
whatever?
mention her. We should at least talk about her a bit.
Yeah, this. I mean, she's introduced here properly.
She is. Yeah,
Yeah, in
properly.
home. But this is like the spacesuit variant, whatever you want to call it.
Also, you remember that scene? Like, do you think they, at least in the intro of this episode, do you think they foreshadowed it properly that she was Sin in this episode?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think their foreshadowing in all episodes was top notch. It's the one thing Liam gets right every single time.
Because she did bleed, right? When with the dinos, right?
Uh, well, she had like the dino hands Sin does and stuff. Okay, so like also Tessa was just really entertaining.
I enjoyed Sin. I mean Tessa. She was
Sin
entertaining.
Tessa, whatever.
Alright.
So B or C?
So are you putting this like C or B?
I'd personally put it in B.
I'll go with you then about that then.
Okay, let's. B it is.
Next
Okay.
episode?
What?
What's the next episode called?
Mass destruction. I think this is like the only S tier. Like deserved S tier. I love this episode. It's
I'll be honest.
what?
This is the episode where how do you say Uzi's mother introduced, Nori's
Yeah.
introduced.
Now Nori was a bit of a fumble since she was just a plot device.
Yeah,
But
I'll be honest. But yeah, continue.
but the horror really picked up here. The comedy was great.
I
The characters
I'll be
were
honest.
huh?
To be honest, my opinions are actually the opposite of yours. I generally did not like the comedy of this episode, nor did I like the plot.
Okay. I especially like the Syntessa reveal.
Yeah, that was good. My only problem with it was how easy N killed her.
You mean
From a narrative perspective, like N like knew Uzi like for 2 weeks, while Tessa like for years. Like and he just did that like with no hesitation. I did
yeah,
not like
but
that
to be
scene.
fair, if one of my friends started suddenly speaking very menacingly after I know there's a fucking eldritch entity around, and there's like decades past, I would be fucking skeptical too.
Well, you have to remember that Uzi was how do you say was infected, and what Tessa said was to save the world, you're gonna have to kill her. That was basically what Tessa said to N.
That's fair.
So,
Yeah.
so realistically, the better choice would have been for him to kill Uzi.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
her.
Okay, so what are we thinking? Personally, I'd put it in S, but you don't agree probably.
I put it in C. I don't think it's
In
worse
C?
than.
Damn.
I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's better than the last episode and Cabin Fever. I
Okay,
think
do you like
this
it
is
more
better.
than the pilot?
I like it more than Pilot. No,
No,
I do not
damn.
like this more than the Pilot.
I like it more than all of these. This is my favorite episode.
Aaron, your list we could put in S.
Yeah. Okay, what if we just
Do 2 tier list.
there? How about that?
Yeah.
Meet in the middle.
Next
Okay.
episode.
And finale. This
Dislike this.
is also a widely hated episode, but I did love it. Like to the point where, in my opinion, it would go up to S along with the others, along with
I think
mass destruction.
this episode is like, my opinions on it is like generally flopped. Like this episode either takes number 5 or number 6 in my tier list.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's particularly bad as an episode the episode by itself is not particularly bad, but I don't consider it a good finale. It doesn't answer the questions, plot points.
Well, personally, I think that's intentional because of one of two reasons, possible ones. Reason one, maybe we'll get like a comic series or something, which is mad copium, I must say, but it's possible.
I wouldn't consider that a good excuse. I don't consider having external material answering questions. Like a good show should be satisfying to watch without having anything. You don't have to look out to find answers. Like the ending should be satisfying within the show. You don't have to look around. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's fair. So what are we thinking?
What is your tier list on it?
What?
What is your tier? Like, where would you rate it?
Again, it would be up in S along with mass destruction.
This would be another C for me.
Okay, so we meet in the middle yet again.
Yep.
Okay. And that's it.
Alright, run me by the tier list. Like, tell me all the episodes in the order.
In bottom C tier, we have Cabin Fever, which was to be expected. Bottom B, we have Dead End, which, yeah. Then we have Heartbeat, which I honestly think would be even lower, but it's not a bad episode in any regard. Then the pilot, also in B. Yeah, that's perfectly fair, actually. Both Mass Destruction and Absolute End in A-, which I know you probably disagree with, but...
I disagree with, yes.
But yeah, these two would be in fucking S, in my opinion. But I'm delusional like that, so... And then in A tier we have Home and Promenading, which are like the most and least liked episodes in the series. Kinda, kinda strange.
Promenading is generally liked by everyone.
What?
I'm pretty sure Promenading is like the most universally loved episode.
Yeah,
of the series.
and the Home is the most hated.
I don't understand Home hate, to be honest.
Yeah, same. We're like 2 of the 7 people defending it. But yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Alright.
And that's it.